Look up in the sky. It's an asteroid. It's a... is that a whale? No, it's Rosie O'Donnell, our hero of the day.
Wherever Rosie O'Donnell's gone, she's probably eating a leprechaun.
Rosie O'Donnell just walked straight into a verbal buzzsaw. Again, this time, Greg Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly didn't just roast her. They incinerated her with sarcasm, then plated her ego with a generous side of, "You brought this on yourself." Rosie tried to flex, but instead face-planted into a puddle of her own hot takes, and the results were absolutely glorious. This wasn't just a takedown, it was a gourmet-level smackdown. Grab your popcorn, because what they said next turned the whole internet into a front-row seat to the carnage.
She's our hero of the day for leaving America if Trump won and relocating to Ireland, where she's still not funny. So many celebs say they're going to do it but never do, but does she have any regrets?
I have no regrets. Not a day has gone by that I thought it was the wrong decision. I was welcomed with open arms. I knew after reading Project 2025 that if Trump got in, it was time for me and my non-binary child to leave the country.
If disaster had a voice, a Twitter account, and a long-standing grudge against common sense, it would sound exactly like Rosie O'Donnell, especially after chugging 3 Red Bulls and flunking an audition for relevance. After 2 decades of being famously allergic to success, you'd think Rosie might try something radical, like humility. But nope, she's doubling down, yelling louder, as if sheer volume can magically turn her delusions into something that sounds remotely like wisdom.
We are about to see Miranda, the character played by Cynthia Nixon, who is so annoying, in bed with a virgin nun played by Rosie O'Donnell. I just threw up a little in my mouth. Go ahead, roll it.
Are amazing.
Oh,
I have never experienced anything like that.
Ew.
that's a nice way to wake up.
Oh, you are really, really something.
And?
Oh my God, yes. It felt so, I don't know, electric, and yet still so natural. I never dreamed when I first time. Could be both those things.
First time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I'm so grossed out, Emily. You have to talk. I can't.
Rosie's entire brand is that angry aunt at Thanksgiving, the one who shows up empty-handed, hijacks every conversation with unsolicited trauma dumps, and still insists on leaving with all the leftovers. She's a human version of a microwave blaring at full volume, right as you're about to snap. Watching her scramble for relevance is like watching someone crash their own car over and over, proudly calling it avant-garde performance art.
Mr. Trump, one of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
And then in walk Megyn Kelly and Greg Gutfeld, armed with receipts, epic eye rolls, and the weary patience of 2 people who've endured one too many Rosie meltdowns. They've had enough of her greatest hits collection, featuring timeless tracks like Screaming into the Void, My Career Wasn't My Fault, Everyone's Out to Get Me, and the chart-topping anthem Blame Trump, and literally everyone except me.
But once you've decided against all evidence and reality that you are the good guy, you can excuse anything. They even push the myth that Musk is in it for himself. Have you seen Tesla's stock lately? It's lower than Rosie O'Donnell's testicles.
Slow.
When Megyn Kelly goes in, she doesn't just criticize, she surgically dismantles. It's like watching a lioness correct a raccoon trying to give a TED Talk. She didn't see Rosie O'Donnell as a political commentator, a comedian, or even a functioning adult. Just a full-blown cautionary tale in Crocs. And then there's Greg Gutfeld, who rolled in like a substitute teacher who's officially done with the class clown. One glance at Rosie's latest attempt at public thought, and he shut it down with a perfectly timed, "Nope, not today, Piglet." His reaction? Basically every American just trying to enjoy their morning coffee before Rosie logs on and makes regret go viral. She's the only person who can turn a talk show into a hostage situation. Her stint on The View didn't feel like TV. It felt like mandatory group therapy hijacked by someone convinced shouting counts as a credential. Every conversation became a dramatic reading of her emotional laundry list, where logic died and self-awareness was never even on the guest list.
Wow, she's nuts. Hey. Apparently America couldn't be happier, but like I said, she's our hero of the day for doing what so many other celebs don't have the guts to do. Wow, first Ellen, now Rosie. Makes you wonder what lesbian will leave next. Julie, she seems miserable, and it doesn't really matter where she goes. She's trying to get away from whatever is inside her, because I looked at her and I go like, wow, she has changed.
Rosie O'Donnell's debate style, pure volume over substance. Ask her a simple question and brace yourself for a 10-minute TED Talk on why she's a victim of conspiracy involving the weather, gluten, and toxic masculinity. Somewhere along the way, there's a detour through the patriarchy, ending with how it personally sabotaged her Netflix password. Greg Gutfeld, God bless him, tried to summarize her latest rant, but gave up halfway through. Because to follow Rosie's logic, you'd need a decoder ring, a PhD in chaos theory, and probably a defibrillator. And even then, you're left asking the eternal question, asterisk, so what exactly are you mad about this time, Rosie? Asterisk, the answer, of course, is everything. She's mad at the weather, billionaires, happy people, microwaves, gluten-free crackers, and mostly the fact that the world kept spinning without checking if she was okay. Spoiler, she wasn't. Megyn Kelly, with the precision of someone who simply had enough, finally said what the entire internet has been screaming into their pillows. Asterisk Rosie, sit down. Please, for the love of dignity. Asterisk, these aren't movements. They're meltdowns on loop, each one louder and less coherent than the last.
The herpes virus. I'm sorry, Exhibit A. Here is Rosie O'Donnell bitching and moaning about her favorite person, Donald Trump. I think this is before she moved. I can't keep track of where she's living in the world to avoid him. Watch.
Well, hey, everybody, it's Friday all day, as my Nana would say. And look what I have on my lip. Everybody's been saying, you have herpes all this time, and I never had a cold sore in my life. And now I have a cold sore. And it makes me think that perhaps this weird pimple that had a tiny little head was a cold sore too. And so I talked to my doctor today, and I did a video telehealth, and they said that it's not a cold sore, it's some reaction to this.
And while we're on the subject, what exactly is Rosie famous for these days? Go ahead, name one recent project that wasn't a shaky, unfiltered Instagram story shot on potato and powered by expired NyQuil and simmering rage. Her most consistent gig lately? Screaming at clouds like an unhinged oracle in a clearance rack hoodie. Let's not forget her golden years in acting, where she somehow managed to play herself in every single role. She's got the emotional range of a parking meter and the subtlety of a jackhammer at a funeral. If typecasting had a Hall of Fame, Rosie would have walked away with a Lifetime Achievement Award for Loud and Annoyed. And then there's her social media. Her posts read like someone fed a drama queen into a blender, added political confusion, a splash of 2008 Facebook energy, and hit puree. Scrolling her timeline feels less like catching up and more like witnessing someone perform open-heart surgery on their dignity with a fork. It's not content. It's a cry for help in all caps.
Everybody hates her. That's the same thing with Rosie. You know why she's leaving, right? We know why she's leaving. It's literally an ego trip. Once nobody likes you, you just leave.
So when are you leaving, Jesse?
It's such mundane commentary. Oh, we agree. You're so enlightened. Oh, I agree with her. Oh, shut up. She's lying to you. She's not leaving because of. By the way, if you keep your home in America, you're not moving.
Every time Rosie O'Donnell gets ratioed online, she wears it like a badge of honor, like getting dunked on as some kind of activist credential. No, Rosie. Getting roasted on Twitter doesn't make you brave. It means you log on again when absolutely no one asked you to. Greg Gutfeld nailed it when he compared her online takes to fortune cookies from a dive bar. Confusing, greasy, and ultimately disappointing. He said reading her post is like getting trapped in a group chat with a drunk raccoon who just discovered Wikipedia. Meanwhile, Megyn Kelly went full scorched earth. She unearthed Rosie's career missteps like an archaeologist digging up fossils of failed sitcoms and bad takes. The whole thing felt like a courtroom drama where Rosie was both a defendant and her own worst witness. Rosie once claimed she was misunderstood. No, Rosie. Misunderstood is when someone mistakes your silence for arrogance. You're about as misunderstood as a foghorn in a library. The issue isn't that people don't understand Rosie O'Donnell. It's that we do, far too well, and we deeply regret it. Remember when she tried to rebrand as a mental health advocate? Bold move, considering her main platform is acting unhinged in public while screaming, "Take me seriously." It's like asking a tornado for weather advice.
Rosie O'Donnell told CNN it's heartbreaking to watch Donald Trump destroy the country from her new home of Ireland. Meanwhile, Ireland told CNN it's heartbreaking that there's not enough Guinness to make Rosie O'Donnell look pretty.
Greg Gutfeld once likened Rosie O'Donnell's logic to a malfunctioning Roomba, bumping into reality, spinning in circles, making noise, and somehow thinking it's accomplishing something meaningful. Her hot takes? Just recycled Facebook memes, dipped in ego and microwaved in delusion. Then came the moment Rosie claimed the world was being too harsh on her. Megyn Kelly blinked 3 times and calmly replied, "Hush, Rosie. The world gave you a talk show, a comedy career, a Broadway run, and you returned the favor by turning every opportunity into a live therapy session." Rosie treats interviews like confessional booths, except instead of confessing, she indicts the entire planet and ends up in tears over her salad being too crunchy. Every question somehow circles back to, asterisk, "You don't know what I've been through," asterisk, and no one does. Because even she changes the story every 5 minutes. And of course, there's the Trump saga. Rosie turned that feud into a personality trait, while the rest of the world moved on, got jobs, paid bills, took up yoga. Rosie's still out here treating a 2006 insult like it was her Hogwarts letter. Even Megyn Kelly, no stranger to political drama, said at some point therapy should have kicked in. Instead, Rosie built an emotional Airbnb in that feud and refuses to evict herself.
Rosie O'Donnell apologized to Ireland's Prime Minister for overshadowing his visit to the White House. She also apologized for overshadowing the Western Hemisphere. That's a fat joke. So currently, the Democrat Party's brand is about as appealing as Rosie O'Donnell river dancing in a thong. It's so bad, even Bill Maher doesn't think we'll ever see a Democrat president again.
Greg Gutfeld joked that Rosie O'Donnell wakes up every morning and spins a wheel of outrage. Today's target, anyone with a functioning career or a working filter. She's become the unofficial mascot for what happens when unchecked ego collides with shrinking fan base and way too much free time. Her comedy specials now feel like motivational speeches delivered by a gym teacher who got fired mid-sentence, where the jokes are just therapy sessions in disguise. It's like watching a clown cry in slow motion, holding a sign that reads, asterisk, please laugh, I'm still famous. Asterisk. And if you're wondering why Rosie doesn't do stand-up anymore, it's probably because standing for long stretches while being booed isn't officially considered cardio. Megyn Kelly didn't hold back either. She said Rosie's acting range should be replaced by a sock puppet with unresolved trauma. These days, the only role Rosie convincingly plays is angry woman yelling at Starbucks staff for using oat milk. And let's not forget her brief, disastrous detour into political commentary.
It's too upsetting.
Anybody wanted
Donald Trump
that.
would never inflict herpes on Rosie O'Donnell. I think he's made that very clear.
Since Eliana refuses to play, Emily, I've got another soundbite for you.
I didn't even know Sex and the City was back on the air. I saw it when you were
happening. You have to react live to the herpes. I'm sorry.
And I was like, oh, you know what? The culture stuff, that's Emily's ballywick anyway.
Here
like,
we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here's another beauty. This is Rosie in another scene singing to Miranda. Enjoy.
Because I knew you. Because I knew you. I have been changed for good. That's from Wicked.
I take yours.
Go ahead. Some comedy, finally. Finally, Rosie O'Donnell is back with comedy.
Rosie O'Donnell once tried to host a panel on climate change and somehow ended up comparing it to her broken AC unit and emotional instability. Somewhere, Greta Thunberg probably cried out in Swedish, asterisk, please make her stop. Asterisk, Rosie likes to think of herself as a truth teller, but if truth had a restraining order, it'd have her name on it. Her idea of facts sounds like the kind of thing someone screams into a pillow at 3 a.m., loud, messy, and wildly unverified. She's basically Alex Jones in sweatpants, backed by a Broadway soundtrack. Greg Gutfeld didn't even bother holding back. He compared Rosie's political hot takes to expired milk, still in the fridge, still stinking, and still ruining everything it touches. Rosie's approach to conflict resolution is yelling asterisk, shut up, asterisk, louder than whoever she's arguing with. It's not debate. It's WW without the athleticism, showmanship, or dignity. Megyn Kelly summed it up perfectly. Watching Rosie argue politics is like watching a cat try to bark. Technically entertaining, sure, but also deeply unsettling and completely unhelpful. And now, Rosie's been reduced to appearing on random live streams with the lighting of a haunted doll museum and the energy of someone who lost a remote and blamed society. Each stream is a tragic mashup of asterisk, remember me? Asterisk and asterisk. Why am I not booked anywhere? Asterisk. The truth is, Rosie, no one wants to watch a grown woman treat public meltdowns like performance art. You already screamed your way into relevance. You had the mic, the shows, the headlines, and then you squandered all of it.